Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Good morning to Europe and to the rest of the world, whatever it is, wherever you are. How's everybody doing, guys? I'm a little bit tired, sorry about that, but you know, we're gonna take it chill and easy today. XRP Legend in the chat, Rick, Martin, Christo, Batch Guitar, Dave, Wookie, Blyatman, what's up? Wookie and Christo as well. Yeah, the moon is tomorrow, not today. But, you know, today is looking okay-ish. Okay-ish. Yesterday was a very exciting day. Yesterday on the live stream we had water following ApeCoin. ApeCoin did nice pump, and we are trying to call some kind of top on ApeCoin. So around 25, bucks. We said this might be the top. Unfortunately, it went up to 27. So we had to call the top like 4 times in a row. But you know, I'm gonna show you that. Monthly close over 40k. We are not sure. So today is 29th. So we got 2 daily closes left until monthly close. So if you look at the daily time frame up here on the Bitcoin right now, we got this daily close and the next daily close before the monthly closes. If you close everything up here and look at the monthly closes, what you're gonna see here is that there is a very special level up here, around something like 40.3 level, that we should probably close above. Beside the 40.3 level, there is also 39.4 level as well, acting as support. So these 2 levels are very important to, stay above, especially this 40.3 on the monthly time frame. Luckily for us, that's only above 10 and 20 moving average up here. It is very, very close, so it can definitely pump. It can even pump in the last hour after 2 days. So we got 2 days left on the monthly close. You see monthly close, one day and 17 hours left on the monthly close, but this can definitely pump in the last hour or something like that, because it's not that much. It's only something like 2.28% towards the upside. So we still got time to get above that very crucial level on the monthly time frame. Now monthly time frame is not gonna be closed until tomorrow, so we got a little bit time left to do. Also on the 30th of April we are getting the new moon. So if you look at the moon phases up here on the daily time frame, this was the full moon, and right now we are getting what's called a new moon. And new moons are often dump moons, and new moons also in some kind of bearish market side, as markets do tend to play out towards the downside. That said, the new moon should push us towards the downside. Also, this is what we call a black moon. Now the black moon doesn't have, it has 4 different definitions of what a black moon is. So whether this is, legit black moon or not, really doesn't matter. It's also going to be partial solar eclipse at the same time. So, black moon, partial solar eclipse, new moon stuff, all that shebang might indicate that we are going to dump on the downside just by looking at the moons. Now, a lot of people don't believe in the moons, and that's fine. But we on this channel, not only do we believe in the moons, the entire club is centered around the moons, guys. Entire club is centered around the moons, as you can see up here. So we're getting the moon, we are getting the moon tomorrow. Tomorrow is getting the moon. So the question is, will this moon dump us to the downside, or will we pump towards the upside? We love the moons. Yeah, we love the moons. So you can see, of course, the very important level up here on the monthly time frame to close, above. That would be above this 20 moving average. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking actually at 2 levels, 40.3 and 30.4 on the monthly time frame. And both of these levels are very, very close to where we are right now. So this can definitely both close above both of these levels or close below both of these levels as well. You can see down here that we were already down there once. So that's gonna be very important level to look up for once we get this monthly close tomorrow. Now this isn't we are not there yet, so we're gonna go to the daily time frame, see what's happening right now over here. Yesterday was a good day, guys. Yesterday was a good day. We avoided RSI divergence on the chart, so I'm going to show you that up here. So there is this RSI indicator on the bottom down here, and as you can see down here, the price is going down from the pivot point to the pivot point. Price is going down, and from the pivot point to the pivot point, the RSI is going down as well. So there is no divergence. If he had closed just a little bit up here, he's still below the 10 moving average, but if he closed just a little bit more up here, this RSI would have, you know, created this RSI divergence. So there is no RSI divergence, and technically we can just continue pumping towards upside up here. And I think there is a, you know, good probability for that as well. Yesterday's close was actually, you know, a little bit bullish up here, because we managed to climb back above the support. You can see the support down here that we made. We went through that support down here, you know, stayed below it, right back up, and then, you know, got smacked back down below the support again. So we use right now 2 days to get back up. So this is first time. This is second time we are getting back above this very important level of support down here. That's at around 39,530. So we are still below the 10 and 20 moving average. We are still below 10 and 20 moving average up here, but it's not, it doesn't look that grim. I mean, yes, we got the new moon coming tomorrow. Yes, we are still below certain, you know, important levels, but it's not all that bad. Like I would have 50-50 right now, 50-50. Unfortunately, on the small time frames, this is 1 hourly time frame. I think you can see it also on the 4 hourly time frame. But on 1 hourly time frame, we are breaking towards downside, something like this up here. You can see that there was some kind of rising wedge up here on the charts. I'm just going to remove the moving averages for a little bit second up here. There was some kind of rising wedge that we broke out of towards downside and tried to, you know, go back up there, failed that, went back down. Right now, you know, still continue on the downside out of this rising wedge. So the target should be something like, you know, 38.7 or something like that down here at the bottom. I would say that if we break the previous slowdown here on the small time frames, if we go all the way down to 31.1 or something like that, and we break that on the downside, we might see, you know, a little bit more damage towards the downside. So these small time frames are not playing out, you know, in our favor right now, you know, that might be indication of some kind of a bearish sentiment, you know, short term. You can see this trend line up here that we are trying to, you know, try to, you know, hold still, you know, fail up here, and right now going a little bit on the downside. So this looks like it's pulling on the downside already, but you know, I'm not calling anything right now, because these moving averages, the fact that we managed, you know, we are still below, you know, hugging this 10 moving average from the bottom side. We don't have any kind of divergence or anything like that, and the MACD cross up here, we still don't have the MACD cross on the daily, but it's very, very close to getting that MACD cross. So, you know, so I'm just keeping a little bit, you know, room open that this might actually, for whatever reason, you know, in the next couple of days, maybe pump above this 10 and 20 moving average, consolidate, and then continue pumping towards upside above, you know, very important levels up here, maybe even above this 50 level up here. So we are not quite sure yet, you know, this emergency that we started, you know, talking about up here, technically down here, the emergency that we start talking about down here is still ongoing the way I see it, but you know, it doesn't look as grim right now as it could have been, you know, it could have looked at. Weekly time frame, we still got something like 2 days and 17 hours left, so there is a lot of, you know, time left for this to play out. We still got, you know, higher lows on the chart up here, still okay, still higher highs on the chart, still okay. So everything looks fine and dandy so far. On the weekly time frame, we do not under any circumstance want to close below 37.7 on the downside. Now that would be terrible for the price, 37.7. That is the very, very important level to hold, because if you start closing on the weekly time frame below this level, we are getting a lower low, which is not a bullish, any kind of bullish sentiment or you know, stuff. So right now, you know, we are trying to figure out how this is gonna play out. There is definitely some kind of trend line going up here. Very nice. It is corresponding very nicely with the 20 moving average. So this 20 moving average needs to be, you know, watched for right now. If you can get above this 20 moving average, that means that this short-term downtrend over here might, you know, get broken, and we might continue towards the upside. So 20 moving average, one of the most important things to look for right now on the daily time frame up here. You know, that's at 14.16, but you just saw that is definitely right now we are coming both into the monthly close, we are getting very soon weekly close. A lot of important stuff is happening right now. Tomorrow is the new moon. Will we dump, will we pump, what's gonna happen? Really, you know, undecisive market right now. Need to see some kind of bullish movement, maybe above this 20 moving average on the daily time frame to, you know, continue the bullishness towards the upside, because if we fail to see any kind of bullish momentum towards the upside up here, we might see slow bleed on the downside. Slow bleed on the downside will start dumping big time on the downside once we break, you know, these bottoms down here as well on the daily time frame. So right now, not that much interesting that's happening with Bitcoin. Beside this, you know, some bullishness is coming back, but you know, there is still a long way to go to that. DXY, guys, DXY is finally getting this red candle right here after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daily candles right up there. We had this very nice trend up here that we broke towards the upside, explode towards the upside, and right now maybe, just maybe, this trend is getting broken. So this is a short-term trend. This is the 4-hourly trend up here that we are looking at right now. You can see down here that we are actually breaking that trend on the downside. The question is whether this is the top or not. Now this is the 4-hourly time frame, so you know, nothing is yet done. I hate to you know call anything on the 4-hourly time frame. If you look at the daily time frame up here, you can see that maybe, just maybe, we are still above the trend up here. So I think we need some kind of more significant close below this line on the daily time frame to actually call some kind of top on DXY on the daily time frame. But right now it looks like this might have been the top, because if you look at a chart, if you look at like objectively on the chart, like this is definitely a parabolic move towards the upside up here. You can see up here it has, you know, certain stages, you know, of this move towards the upside. One, then you got this one up here, two, maybe even up here, you know, secondary, and then right now down here, this is the, you know, some kind of blow off top up here towards the upside that right now went. And I think this blow off top right now, I think it is played out. So you know, it might be good for Bitcoin, but it's not 100% correlated with the price of Bitcoin. So just because this start going down doesn't mean that Bitcoin is gonna rally big time towards the upside in the very start. It might start going down a little bit while Bitcoin goes down, and then eventually Bitcoin might turn towards the upside while this continues on the downside. But this looks like a blow off top. So DXY, I think it's reaching some kind of top right now, and we might just continue, you know, right now having this move continue on the downside. So we are calling some kind of top up here at 103, because it does look very, very extended towards the upside. That's it when it comes to extensions and stuff like that, right? ApeCoin yesterday did a big move towards the upside. We've been watching this live, trying to call the top on the 5-minute chart and 1-minute chart. We've been even looking at 1-second charts up here, which was very, very exciting once we came to the top. Can we go back a little bit up here and see the top up here? This is 24. This is 1-second chart, so there is a lot of data up here. Here is the top. So this is some kind of 25 level down here. We called, you know, some kind of top first around the 25 level, give or take, because it was some kind of psychological level to break. So we were thinking that's gonna, you know, stop here and go down. But once we came to this 25 level, there was no reaction. It was just hugging the 25 level. It broke the 25 level. It came to this 26 level up here, you know, but it still was, you know, we didn't see big moves on downside. And first up after 26 level up here, when it started going up here, we said, okay, this has to, because you know, we failed the call on 25, we failed the call on 26, but once we start seeing this happening on the 1-second chart up here, you know, this move towards the upside, we said this is it. So we started calling, you know, for the third time. We said this stop was at 27.2. It went a little bit back down and created this secondary top up here, which was the actual top up here. And when it came there, like for the 4th time, we called the top again, because we knew we are very close to the top, you know. So whether, you know, we are thinking 25, but when 25 didn't get hit, you know, we just blew through that. You know, we're saying like 26 is the top, and it looked like top, you know, up here, some kind of top, right? But it started continuing going towards the upside. And although we are, you know, if you zoom out a little bit more up here, where is it? Let me just, if you zoom a little bit up more up here, you're gonna see that, you know, 25, 26 levels, where is this is 25, this is 26, and this is the very top up here at the top, right? So we already knew when we were coming up to 25, 26 that we were at some kind of top, you know. The question was exactly, you know, timing the top towards upside. So this top blew off. You can see up here we had some kind of trend line up here, And once this trend line got broken, let me I think it's something like this up here. And once this trend line got broken, and this is on 30 minutes, but you can also see it, for example, we were watching it for 5 minutes up here. It was something like this down here, give or take. Something like this, you can see here, once this actually got broken down here, that was, you know, the end of it. But we're also looking at this very, you know, last part up here, and there was also a trend line up here going something like this. And once that started breaking, we knew that, you know, the top was pretty much in. So these parabolic moves are really easy to figure out where the top is, and, you know, just follow the trend lines. When trend lines, you know, start going almost, you know, horizontally towards the top, you know, and you start breaking those trend lines, that's pretty much over. So DXY right now and the ApeCoin right now hit some kind of top. I'm not saying that, you know, the top on ApeCoin is in right now, because it is in on some kind of local bottom. You can see here, as soon as you zoom a little bit out, this on the daily time frame, you can see that, you know, it is going, you know, a very hard towards the upside. We are getting the doji, but you can just consolidate here and, you know, and continue making another high, because we got the, you know, we got the parabolic move on the 5-minute chart. We didn't get the parabolic move on the daily chart. A parabolic move on the daily chart will look something like this. I'm going to show you up here, you know, although it does look like very steady move, but you can do it like this, you know, and this would be on the daily chart a parabolic move. When you see, you know, every day it does, you know, 20-30%, that's a parabolic move on the daily chart. These parabolic move on the daily chart do tend to play out for a very long time until they correct. Now, fortunately for ApeCoin and ApeCoin holders, this parabolic move that was happening on the 5-minute chart up here can maybe already be finished or not towards the downside, right? So, you know, we just called one small top up here on the top, you know, nothing major. And you can see that technically we are still in an uptrend up here. This is on the 1 hourly time frame. You can also see this on the 4 hourly time frame. So technically there is no problem just yet, you know. It's only on these very small time frames that, you know, that we have, you know, hit some kind of parabolic move up here at top. But this parabolic move can happen on anything, and any kind of move can have some kind of parabolic top and blow off top, where it retraces back to certain levels, consolidates, and continues towards the upside. So ApeCoin right now doing the way I see, it's still fine, no problem whatsoever. It was only on the small time frames that it did bounce, you know, did blew off. Bitcoin right now minus 0.76 on towards downside. It did break this trend line down here. Let me just reiterate that this trend line towards downside, it's still getting pushed on the downside. It starts breaking these moving averages and goes below on the short term, below 39,100, give or take. That might indicate a more move towards the downside. Dogecoin is up 2.25%. Dogecoin did okay-ish, you know, it is still holding this 50 moving average. I'm gonna remove other moving averages so you can see that. You can see that Dogecoin, you know, for the last 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it was holding this 50 moving average like a champ, you know. So the question is, will it have enough power to bounce off here, or will it eventually, you know, just break through this 50 moving average, break through the support down here as well on the downside, and fall, you know, to the grace whatever was already, you know, going previously before this all of this happened. Let's see how Dogecoin looks on the monthly time frame, still below this 20 moving average up here, and on the weekly time frame still below this 20 moving average on the weekly time frame. So, you know, it's the market is a little bit uncertain right now. As you can see, Bitcoin, you know, it's hitting some kind of, you know, a resistance level, but it also can definitely break this resistance level and get above. But the more time it uses to break the resistance level, this lower the, you know, chance it's actually gonna do that, the way I see it, you know. So the more time we spend below here, you know, fail to get, you know, any kind of bullish moment towards the upside, I think, you know, the probability should be on the downside. So that's what I got for you guys today. There are definitely some other coins that are pumping right now, but, you know, whatever. What do you guys say in the chat? Someone in bullish and bearish indicator. I just want to golden cross at a full moon with weekly and daily RSI at 15. I think the central plant has found the golden nugget. You know, bullish cross on the full moon with a daily RSI at 15. I mean, if that happens, we're gonna go, you know, gung ho 100x, man. Good morning, Gabber. How you doing, man? Good morning. I'm wunderschön, guten Morgen. Other countries are going into dollar. It's going to go up way more. Flocky. It might go up more, but right now it does look a little bit extended and it's a pullback. So, you know, the pullbacks are all nice. So we're gonna see how that actually plays out. I've been also explaining to you about the dollar milkshake theory. You can check out, there is a guy called Brent Johnson or Brent something. You can also search Twitter, you know, dollar milkshake theory, and you'll find the interesting theory on why the dollar should, you know, go through the roof. So we're gonna see if that actually plays out. Don't you guys think it's a little bit unsettling that we're talking about Doge and apes while Beats is struggling like a half-headed zombie grandpa? The center plan, I think you've come a long way, you know, and that is a very, very good point. We are talking about Dogecoin and ApeCoin while, you know, Bitcoin is not making big moves. So that might be definitely some kind of bearish sentiment on there. Right in the chat over here, when we started, you know, the stream, XRP Legend asked us to look at MTV since he was the first. So we're gonna check the MTV out. Multivac, it's a Qcoin, and there is no such thing as bottom on this thing over here. Extensions maybe on the, when we are looking at extensions on the downside. This is a weekly extension right now. Yeah, it is a little bit extended towards the downside, so it might have a nice bounce towards the upside, but the bounce should be go all the way up to the moving averages up here. So, you know, you can see down here it broke through the very important level of support up here. Is it breaking everything on the downside? Right now it is definitely even breaking this last support on the downside down here right now, but it is breaking it after this very extended move. So, you know, it could be some kind of local bottom up here where it actually goes up, because this support on downside is very, very important. Maybe it's this one up here that we broke last week. And we, you know, considering that we are already extended from the moving averages, maybe it's gonna bounce, but there doesn't seem to be any bottoming pattern up here. Maybe some kind of falling wedge. Nah, this just broke on the downside. Nah, I don't see it. I don't see any kind of pattern right now. Anything. This looks like it's just bleeding straight down for whatever reason. So, you know, MTV doesn't look good. I actually noticed before that MTV is bleeding towards downside like big time, and it just looks ugly. But whether this is the bottom or not, I don't know. But, you know, there might come a bounce very soon. Maybe. RSIs are down at 24 on the daily. The momentum is still shrinking towards downside. So yeah, the bounce might come. The bounce on this might come up here, but I'm not saying that, you know, it's gonna recover. But the bounce, a pullback or something like that, you know, temporary move towards the upside might come. RSI is still some kind of 36 level, so definitely has more room to the downside. There is no bullish cross or anything on this. So now it looks bad. There might be some kind of pull towards the upside up here, but, you know, when that pull is gonna happen, I think it needs to break this trend up here. There are two trends up here. There is this one, but the pullback will happen after this faster move is actually done. So there is this trend up here, the secondary line up here. This is on the daily time frame as well. So when this line breaks, that's the 10 moving average. Once you get above 10 moving average, we might see some kind of nice move towards the upside. If we break the secondary trend up here as well, we might see more movement towards the upside. But, you know, the first thing, you know, to stop this trend, it needs to get above this trend line, and this trend line right now, it's right now up here is around, you know, 33 or something like that. Doesn't look all that good, man. I'm sorry about that. That not life. Yeah, man, the XY is on crack. I've been watching dollar milkshake theory. That thing could rage. Thoughts on ICP, Gala, XLM, and 6K on gold or crypto 3 months from now. 6K on gold or crypto. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Yeah, ICP doesn't look that good. You know, ICP for whatever reason is bleeding on the downside. Still bleeding. You can see ICP down here. Yeah, this is the weekly time frame on the ICP. We can pop some more moving averages up here. you'll see that it gets these bounces, but still technically just going towards downside. The question is whether this is the bottom or not right now, and I don't see the bottom just yet, because we are breaking this very important support down here, and it's not just a little bit, we are breaking in big time on the downside down here. You can see here 3 days ago we broke this on the downside, right now consolidating down here. The levels, you know, daily is just 36 down here, weekly is 28, but you know, it had to come back up again. So it is still trying to find some kind of bottom. I still don't see the bottom up here on this chart yet, so ICP definitely looks like, you know, crap. Gala, the same, let's go to the weekly time frame. Gala is just bleeding towards the downside. It's breaking through the support as well on the downside as well. You can see here breaking through the support. That's what actually happened last week. This is just continuing towards downside. Maybe we got some kind of extended levels where this is gonna bounce towards the upside, but right now it does not look good. You know, there is nothing that's seen, you know, any way, shape or form that this is, you know, in any, you know, any kind of good coin, right? It just bleeding on the downside. It needs to break the certain trends up here at 10 and 20 moving average on the daily time frame to be, you know, a little bit optimistic, but it's not optimistic right now. Weekly nothing. So Gala also looks very bad. Excellent. Stellar, I'm wondering what Stellar is doing lately. Let's go to weekly time frame. Weekly time frame Hero Stellar, you know, it doesn't look as bad as some other coins up here. Maybe some kind of inverse head and shoulders is playing out here on the daily time frame. No, excellent. On the weekly time frame, that's it. You know, but I think it's still too early to call that. But you can see it already up here. Right now there is something. I don't know if that's this one or, you know, which direction this is, but you know, maybe if it managed to, you know, if it managed to do something. But this is kind of hopium, right? The most important thing up here, the trend got broken up here. This is the weekly trend. The weekly trend got broken, which is actually quite nice. So, you know, you see that, you know, for example, Gala and ICP have not broken any kind of trend, but this actually broke the trend. So right now it's just testing this trend line. So you do not want to break below the trend line down here on this again. But the good thing is, you know, this short-term trend up here, it is broken. But, you know, I think it's still got a long way to go. Daily trend up here as well, still pushing it on the downside. Just by looking at the moving averages on the daily time frame, we are below all of the moving averages and getting squeezed, still squeezed on the downside. Might be hitting some kind of low. 200 moving average being hit here on the weekly time frame, which is important level of support. So you do not, definitely not want to start closing below that. And the 50 moving average is right now getting wrecked on the downside on the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame in 2 days, 19. Are we gonna close below that? That's the question up here. That's the question. Now it still doesn't look that bullish. Yes, it broke this downtrend up here towards upside, but right now it's continuing on the downside. The short-term downtrend that needs to be broken, still below certain levels. It is some kind of support, but you know how this is actually gonna play out, you know, who knows. Good morning, man. Mexipa. How you doing, man? What's the QQQ in 35 minutes? What's the QQQ? QQQ. I don't know what QQQ is. Probably not what I was thinking, but you know. Good morning, Hiba. How you doing? Helium is one of the scariest on planet, despite the months in the universe, because escapes atmosphere once released, price flying up. Yeah, the problem is, you know, you cannot take helium and, you know, put it on your finger. You cannot, you know, shill helium that good, you know. So gold not only is a physical, not only can you use it as jewelry, it's also very scarce. So, you know, it got more than one property. Like helium got like different properties, and it is used for a lot of stuff. But the problem is, you know, mass adoption of, you know, helium bubble. I don't know, can you just write helium up here and all and stocks, no, futures. I don't know how to QQQ on trading view. I don't know what to watch. I don't know what QQQ is, man. QQQ Nasdaq, QQQ. This over here, Trust Series 1. Is this what you talk about? ProShares Ultra QQQ. I don't know. Indicator. Oh, it's indicator. Oh, okay. I don't know what this is. This one, squeeze. Let's get up. It doesn't work. Study, not authenticator. It runs BTC and the market. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for you for today. You know, Bitcoin is just doing so and so. Not much is happening. Full moon coming tomorrow. Watch that. The trend on the short term is broken towards the downside, so we're gonna see if we fall through that. There are some important levels of, you know, resistance and support that needs to be broken. But right now, the Bitcoin is just trying, you know, to create something. There is also this very nice bottom down here on the short term. And maybe there is a line up here now. Because this line up here got broken, right? And then we had this up here line, maybe up here. What is it? You know, which one of these is? Because definitely is one of these, but you know, which one? Anyways, guys, that's it. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bitcoin Daily, 9 AM Central European Time, because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin. So hopefully tomorrow there will be some good news. You know, it's a new moon day, so you know, maybe it's gonna be bad news as well. Stop by and check that out. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if not subscribed, you know, and all that shebang. See you around, guys. Bye bye.